In this video, we're going to take a look at the user interface and tools of Perfect Portrait 2. To start, I've opened up a portrait image in Perfect Layers, and I'm going to send it over to Perfect Portrait by clicking on the Portrait module in the module selector at the top. Now let's take a look at the user interface of Perfect Portrait. On the left is the Effects, Favorites, and Presets browser. Under Effects, you'll find a category listing of effects that we've built for children, females, groups, and males. Just click on a category header to expand, and then click on a preset or an effect to apply. If there's an effect that you really like and use often, you can click on the flag on the lower right to save it as a favorite. You can also change the way that the effects are displayed. By default, we're in a single column view. On the lower left of the user interface, you'll find the ability to change to 2-column view, 3-column view, and list view. While in any view, you can also expand this column by dragging from the left to the right. Next to effects, you'll find your favorites. Here's where you're going to find any effect that you selected using the flag on the lower right. And finally, we have presets. Presets are snapshots of settings that you've created. When I do portrait retouching, the first thing that I like to do is zero out all of my settings. So I've created a preset called Zeroed Out. By clicking it, all of the sliders on the right will zero out, bringing me to an even baseline. Next to the browser is the tool well on the top left. From the top, we have the Face Select tool, the Face Edit tool, Retouch Brush, Hand tool, and Zoom tool. The Face Select tool is used to determine which face you want to work on if there's more than one, or you can use it to find a face that hasn't been detected. Below that is the Face Edit tool. When you select it, Perfect Portrait will automatically fill the screen with the portrait face that you're working on. Alright, let's take a look at what we have now with the Face Edit tool. First, you'll notice some dots and lines on your portrait. These are the eye and mouth markers. It helps you refine the detection that we've made on where the eyes and the mouth are. When you look at the eyes, there are 5 dots representing the edges of the eyes. In the middle, the 5th dot is a light blue. That represents the center of the eye, so you're going to want to put that blue dot on wherever the middle of the eye is. Now you can see that we did a great job of doing automatic detection, but we can use some refinement. To refine, just start dragging from any one of the dots and place them so that they meet the edges. On the left and right, I put them where the end of the whites of the eyes meet. Same thing with the top and the bottom. Now I'm going to move on to the camera right eye. With the eye selection done, I can now focus on the mouth. You can see with the mouth there are 6 points. The 2 points on the left and right should be put at the corners of the mouth. Then there are 2 additional sets of points. These are meant to show where the lips are. So you can see on the top here, we've selected the lips automatically really well. On the bottom though, I'm going to take this dot and move it to the top of the lip. Now you can see that in the middle, the teeth are showing. I'm also going to take this edge here and just lift it up a bit. Alright, so now we've taken care of selecting where the eyes and the mouth are. To refine the skin mask, I'm going to activate one of the mask previews in the black box on the lower left-hand corner of the preview area. I like to use mask red, but you'll notice that we also have white, dark, and grayscale. Now you can use the Face Edit tool to determine where skin is and where it isn't. If you look on the top left, you'll see a mode. There are 2 modes here. There's Add to Skin and Not Skin. Selecting Add to Skin will allow you to paint in areas that you want to have skin retouching applied to. So right here in the middle on the top of her nose, I'm going to draw right there to select that as skin. Now I'm going to go to Not Skin and start painting areas that are not skin. For me, I usually select any hair that might have been detected, as well as the neck if I don't want to apply skin retouching to the neck area. One of the other places that I almost always remove are eyelids and eyebrows. Because those areas have fine detail, I don't want those to necessarily smooth out. Now you can see here that I have a little bit of skin that I actually want to have retouched. So I'm going to go back to Add to Skin and draw that in. Some of the properties of the brush that you have are the size, the feather, and the opacity. For size and opacity, you can also control using Wacom pressure sensitivity if you have a supported Wacom tablet. We also have a perfect brush option, which gives you edge detecting technology. so that you can draw skin where you want it without having to worry about painting in hair or other areas. Once the skin mask is completed, go back to the mask preview area and select After. Now it's time to retouch the portrait. The first thing that I like to do is press the Hide Control button on the top right of the user interface. This will hide the control points for the eyes and the mouth. Now let's take a quick look at the tools on the right. From the top right, I have my histogram up, which shows a distribution of tones from shadows through midtones and highlights. We also have a loop view, which will help you find where you are if you're zoomed in really tight. And then we have a navigator view, which shows you your overall image and allows you to zoom in at specific factors. Below that, we've got the skin retouching pane. The skin retouching pane contains the tools you're going to need to fix the skin. First, you've got a blemishes slider. The blemishes slider is used to actually heal skin while retaining pore structure. I usually start around the middle at 50%. Next is the smoothing slider. The smoothing slider will add a nice healthy glow, and because the blemishes was used to fix most of the skin, you only need to use somewhere between 10 and 15% to give the skin a really radiant look. Now, if your model has some hot spots from bright light sources, the shine slider will reduce the appearance of that. Be careful though not to use too much because you're going to give the skin a flat look. Similarly, if you have a lot of shadows on your model's skin, you can use the shadow slider to bring those out. And the texture slider is used in the event that you had to use an aggressive amount of smoothing and blemishes and want to restore some natural skin texture. Finally, evenness will help reduce any splotchiness or red spots on the skin and give you a nice even color and tone. The face only checkbox limits the controls that you just made to the skin mask that we worked on earlier. If you want the controls to apply to every area in the scene of similar color, deselect the face only checkbox. Below that is color correction. With color correction, you can control the amount of warmth and color shift in your image. By default, this is off. If you want to add warmth to your image, drag the warmth slider to the right, or to cool it off, drag it to the left. The color shift allows you to refine the color and hue in the skin. Finally, we have the mouth and eyes pane. Here you can control the brilliance of the eyes and the whiteness of the teeth. To brighten the eyes, just drag the whitening slider up, but be careful not to do it too much. You don't want the eyes to look irradiated. The detail slider will add some sharpness to the eyes, making them pop even more. Like the whitening, use this in small doses. The whitening slider under the mouth section not only brightens teeth, but it helps remove yellow stains. Be careful again and don't use too much of this. And finally, you can use the vibrance slider to add a color boost to the lips, making them stand out more. The final tool in the tool wheel that we're going to look at is the retouch brush. The retouch brush is great for healing out any problem areas on the skin. Just draw on the areas that you want to heal, and Perfect Portrait will get rid of them. Another nice use of the retouch brush is by taking the opacity, bringing it down to about 20%, and then making several strokes under the eye. This will help reduce any shadows and dark areas. It's also great for wrinkles and laugh lines. On the lower left of the screen, you've got your preview mode toggle and the preview on and off. Use this to toggle between the before and after of your image. Finally, if this is a particular look that you like for this model, the best thing you can do is save a preset. This will be a snapshot of all the settings that you've applied to this particular face. To save a preset, go to the preset menu item and select Save Preset. Then type in a name, a category, and specify a creator and description if you are interested. When you're done, click Create to save, or click Cancel to close out. Now let's take a quick look at how Perfect Portrait works with multiple faces. In this image, we have a family of 4, and you can see that all 4 faces were automatically detected. Each face has a box next to it and an X. If you don't want retouching applied to any one face, just click on the X and the face markers will be removed. The box that's colored is the active face that you're going to be working on. To start working on the face, just click on the Face Edit tool from the tool wheel. To switch from one face to the other, use the previous and next arrows on the top right of the user interface. Clicking on it will toggle you from one face and back to the other. When you're done with your portrait retouching, click on Apply to commit those changes. We're sure you're going to love the power and speed that Perfect Portrait offers you with your portrait retouching. Thank you very much.